Right, we are going to pass on to the fourth stage now. So we are done with the schoolboy, the infant, the schoolboy, the lover, and now he transcends, or rather, there is a transition to the life of a soldier. Okay, so then a soldier, he is becoming a soldier now, a fighter. Okay, full of strange oaths and bearded like the part. So this is a time when he basically takes strange oaths. Meaning, see, in those times, it is almost imperative or necessary to be in the army for a certain part of your life. Okay, almost everyone was somehow or the other in the army for some time. Okay, Great Britain was an imperialist nation, so it had actually expanded, or rather expanded its empire to all the colonial, empires that we have learnt about. So obviously they would need army to a great extent. Then they had rivalry with the with countries like France and all. So army getting associated with army, it was a matter of honor. Only trusted people could have been associated there. So full of strange oaths, he is full of strange oaths that are being taken. Okay, strange oaths and bearded like the path. Okay, so he has already taken an oath to defend his country with his life. Okay, he is not caring about his life, all he is caring about that he has to defend his country or region. So, full of strange oaths, he has taken strange oaths and bearded like the pard. See, pard here means leopard. Okay, so just as a leopard is a very strong animal, and very flexible, so leopard is basically, he is being compared, beard of a soldier is compared to that of a leopard. He is become very strong now. It's a very strong phase of his life. Okay, wherein strength matters most, strength of oath, strength of the body and mind. Okay, so here the strength is taking the lead out here in his life. So full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard. So the simile that has been used here is beard of a soldier compared to a leopard. Okay, we'll talk about this later. Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. Okay, he is jealous for honor. Honor means, see, when I am working somewhere, I would be a little jealous. See, it happens, right? See, if we correlate this thing to our contemporary times, if you are working in an office or you are working for someone, you will always strive so that your boss looks at you and gets you promoted. You are the deserving one. Okay, so that's what takes over as an emotion. Here, the human emotion is jealous in honor. I will be the one to receive the honor. I will be the one to gather the praise. I will be the one to get the applause. Okay, so jealous in honor. Whatever he is doing in life at this point of time, he has a lot of honor to gather. That's the motive of his life, to gather as much of applause, appreciation and honor from others. Okay, he has created an audience where he needs to get applauded all the time. Okay, so he is jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. Okay, just as a military man, he is sudden and quick in quarrel. Okay, so he is almost every time alert, and he is ready to basically get into a quarrel and finish off his opponent. Okay, seeking the bubble reputation. Now what does this bubble reputation means? See, you look at a life of a bubble. Bubble kind of increases in size and then within seconds it explodes. Okay, so Shakespeare has compared this seeking of reputation, this seeking of honor, applause, appreciation. Okay, this seeking is compared to seeking a bubble reputation, because this reputation is not going to last for long. Okay, so this is not going to last for long, and that's the reason it has been, this reputation is basically bubble reputation as per Shakespeare. Okay, so this fighting for the country, or full of patriotic things, and giving up life, ready to give up life just to get honored. Okay, so all these are basically bubble reputations according to Shakespeare. Even in the cannon's mouth. So he's not afraid to even go in the cannon's mouth. Cannon means the tank through which, though in olden days the cannons were used. So cannon means basically a tank, even in the cannon's mouth. So he's ready to face death. Okay, so if you look at the figures of speech that are used here, if you notice, the letter Q has been repeated, so it's a kind of alliteration. Hyperbole. Now what does hyperbole means? At times poets use hyperboles. Hyperboles are basically exaggerated words. They do not mean, the poet doesn't mean them literally, but it is an exaggeration. just to convey his emotion very strongly. At times a poet uses an exaggerated word. It needs not be taken literally, okay, but the exaggerated version is basically due to the poet's emotions attached to it. So hyperbole, the need to build a reputation has been exaggerated. He would be willing to face even death. So he is ready to face death even to seek reputation, okay. Okay, metaphor, indirect comparison of danger to cannon's mouth. So if you look at it, the comparison here is to the cannon's mouth. Cannon's mouth basically means danger, right? Life threatening. Okay, so these are things that are there. So here a man seeks, so what about the soldier's life? Here a man seeks fame through his temporary and short-lived. So he is seeking fame basically. He is seeking reputation. He is seeking applause, appreciation, okay. That has become the motive of his life. So he is seeking fame, though it's temporary and short-lived. But Shakespeare, according to Shakespeare, this type of fame is very short-lived and temporary. So he's seeking that, he's pursuing that fame, okay. He endangers his life for it. He is endangering his life for it. It alludes how a man goes to every extreme for temporary success. So it is basically explaining just to achieve temporary success of honor, or he is ready to go to any extent. Success is always temporary. So what the poet here means that although the life transition is that of a soldier, but success is like temporary. I mean, it's just like a bubble reputation. Just as the bubble will kind of increase in size and then it will explode in seconds. In no time, it is going to get exploded. And so is this kind of reputation seeking attitude of a man as well. Okay. So that's the phase of a soldier's life. You can take a snapshot of the same. Then we will move on to the next phase of life. Alright, we are going to move on to the next phase of his life, that is the fifth stage of his life. Alright, so fifth stage of his life, and then the justice. Okay, so he becomes a little judgmental here. Okay, so he is not basically a judge, but has become judgmental because he has seen so much of life. He has basically become more intelligent now. He can weigh things. He can weigh things means he can see what is right, okay, what is right and what is wrong. So he can make comparisons between right and wrong. So he can make decisions which are basically right, in the right direction. And then the justice. So he is basically like a judge now. He is judgmental about things. He can actually weigh what is right and what is wrong. So he has, with all his experiences that he has gained in his life. So he has now moved on to the middle age phase of life. Okay, in fair round belly with good capon line. Okay, capon is basically a cloth. In fair round belly means he has developed a belly now. Obviously his body is not young anymore. He has passed on to the middle age phase of his life and he has acquired a belly because of his eating habits or whatever lifestyle he has. Okay, but generally people who cross the middle age are we can see that they have developed a belly. It's a general thing that we notice in all people who are actually crossing the middle age. So fat kind of starts depositing. So in fair round belly with good capon line. So if you look at the figure of speech here used here, it is inversion. The actual sentence should be fair round belly lined with good capon. Okay, but in order to give a poetic effect, it has been used as fair round belly with good capon line. Okay. Okay, now with eyes severe and beard of formal cut. Severe eyes means he is very observational now. He is observational of people's acts. He is observational of people's behaviors. Okay, he is observational of everything now. So he is rather using his intelligence rather than on his emotion. Okay, if you look into it, the phases of life wherein he behaved as a lover or basically as a soldier, he was more or less kind of driven by his emotions. But here he is more or less kind of driven by his intelligence. Okay, so with eyes severe, he has a severe eyes. I mean, he is very observational. He can judge things. Okay, he can see what is right and wrong. He can see through people. He has interacted with so many people in the world that he is now he is judgmental. He has automatically become judgmental. And beard of formal cut. So basically he can become a formal cut beard he has developed. Okay, inversion with severe eyes and formal cut beard. So actually it should be with severe eyes and formal cut beard, but in order to give a poetic effect, it has been inverted and written in this way. Full of wise saws and modern instances. Okay, he is completely informed of the things that are happening around him. So modern instances that are happening around him by news, by media, by papers. Okay, he is fully informed about the things that are happening around him. We generally see people who are middle-aged people, when they are having discussions, the discussions are very much contemporary. The discussions are very much correlated to the times that they live in. Okay, they will discuss about politics, they will discuss about war, they will discuss about, you know, whatever is happening in a nation. So these are very contemporary discussions that happen between middle-aged people. So full of wise saws. Wise saw means wise sayings. Okay, he is full of wise sayings, quotes and modern instances. So he plays his part. If you look into this, the letter P has been repeated twice. So this is a case of alliteration. So the fifth stage of life, man has entered the middle age phase of his life. He has excess belly fat. He has developed excess belly fat, okay, which is very much evident by his body and figure. He is full of wise sayings. He is full of wise sayings means he is always appearing as a person who has all the experiences in life, and he is full of wise sayings and smart enough to judge things. And he has become smart enough to judge things. He has become judgmental. The word justice itself starts from there. He is updated with contemporary situations, contemporary events which are taking place in his times. He is quite updated with them. By means of news and information, he is quite updated with them and has his own opinions on them, and has his own opinions and his views on them as well. Okay, so here we have the life of a middle-aged man. The fifth stage is that of a middle-aged man who is basically become judgmental with his experiences in life. He can see through people and their motives. Okay, he can decide what is right and what is wrong, and unfortunately, you know, some fat has piled up in his body. And he has a clear vision though. Okay, he can see through things and people as well, and he is quite updated with the current scenarios and events that are happening in and around him, and he has his own views. He has his own, you know, set of phrases, wise sayings that he uses more often, and that's what his life has kind of, you know, shaped into right now. Okay, so we'll move on to the next slide. You can take a snapshot of the same. Alright, so now we basically roll on to the last stage of a man's life. So the last scene of all that ends his strange eventful history, that is ending his strange and eventful history. There have been so many events and quite strange that he started off with something, you know, it passed on through different stages of being an infant when he was crying in his nurse's arms, when he was crying and puking, and then he passed on to basically a schoolboy's life where he is not willing to go to school and pursue education, and then he passes on to a teenager's life when he is lost in love for his beloved, and then he passes on to the soldier's life when he is very strong and, you know, he is very inclined for that reputation. He is a reputation seeking person, and then he passes on to the, you know, a kind of a judge's life when he is becoming judgmental of things that are happening around him, when he is full of knowledge of the current events and contemporary events, and then he passes on to the old age when in his basically his size has shrink. Okay, his entire size that he was there, a well built size that was there in his youth age, is now shrinking, because now he is losing everything. His muscles, his bones, limbs, everything is becoming weak now. He is becoming extremely weak. Okay, and his voice has become, he has lost his big hoarse manly voice and has now become like a whistle. Okay, so now he basically, last scene of all, when he is actually encountering death. Okay, that ends his strange eventful story. So quite a lot of events that have happened in his life, quite a lot of people he has been associated with. So this strange eventful history is now on a stage of losing. Okay, so here if you see the alliteration, again the figure of speech is the letter E that is getting repeated. The sound of the letter E is getting repeated. In second childishness and mere oblivion. Okay, so the poet has basically, it's a metaphor basically, second childishness as compared to the helplessness of old age. Old age is when a person becomes helpless. He is not fit anymore to do things on his own. He has to be dependent on somebody or else. Okay, So old age is basically second childishness. Second childishness is when people have to be dependent on others. So it is a metaphor which is used here. In second childishness and mere oblivion. Oblivion means the state of unawareness. Oblivion means nothing. He is not aware of what is happening around him. The same person who was so aware of the contemporary events that were happening in previous stages now is quite unaware of the things that is happening around him. Quite outdated now. Okay, he is become like a child. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Okay, so here a new figure of speech is something that we are noticing. That's repetition. Repetition means this word sans has been repeated quite a number of times. Okay, sans means losing. So he loses his teeth, of course, then he loses his eyesight. Okay, then he loses his taste. All these are things that he is by and large gradually on the verge of losing, and then finally loses his life. Okay, so sans everything. Sans everything here is basically hyperbole. It is an exaggerated version of losses in old age. So basically an exaggerated version. Till he encounters death, obviously he will be losing in bits and pieces, but here he is saying that almost everything is lost even before he has given up on his life or actually met death. Okay, so it's an exaggerated version, and that's the reason we call it hyperbole. Not in the literal sense, but to an extent. Okay, alas, the last stage comes for him. So this is the last stage that has come for him, to go through oblivion. Oblivion means unawareness. Now he will go again to unawareness. So the last stage has come for him. When he enters old age, he turns into a child again. Okay, slowly he begins losing his teeth, his vision, the taste in his mouth, the love and or greed for everything that he wanted in his life. So everything that he once kind of had a love and greed for, he is going to lose everything in bits and pieces. So this basically completes the entire poem. Okay, wherein he starts and completes all the 7 stages of his life, of a man's life, and narrates it entirely. It's a narration, it's a vivid narration. A lot of things have been used in the poem to give the poetic effect. We have gone through the poem. In case you feel that you have any doubts regarding the explanation that has been covered here, or regarding the poetic or literary devices that have been used here, please feel free to post your comments in the comment section, or you can even call or message me. All right, I will ensure that I cover it in the next slide or somewhere. So this basically completes the poem All the World's a Stage by Sir William Shakespeare. All right, thank you so much for your time here.